Yes, the purpose of this call is to give all of you and those who will be watching this video a little help as to how to navigate the MiniDapp hub, which you can see on Jasmine's screen. So we'll be going through the wallet and the Gimme 20 MiniDapps today. We'll talk a bit about transactions, creating NFTs, creating tokens, and we're also going to go over the Docker package installation, what different commands you can use to interact with your node using Docker. And yeah, so Jazz, the Docker intro, can you put up the console? Okay. Well, yeah, let's just start with this. This is the easiest. So if you've already installed the Docker Minima node, then you'll realize that you've got two containers. Now, this is already explained in all the guides. The Watchtower container is used to automatically update your node. And as you can imagine, the Minima 9001 container is your node in itself. Docker already offers us several options to, start the container, delete the container, make the container run. If you click on the container itself, like Jasmine just did, then it will show you the logs for your node. These are the same logs as if you were running the service installation, and if you had it open in your command prompt, it's the same thing. In order to interact with your node, you'll need to head to the terminal. Well, through Docker, you'll need to head to the terminal. And here you can...
I've already got it up, but
yeah.
You can, if you haven't already got it up, just type Minima and then enter, and then you'll see the Minima intro. And then you'll be able to do your commands, like balance, for example.
It's pretty straightforward. Everyone, I think, is familiar with this since this is what we had before Docker. So yes, I mean, I don't have much else to say for Docker apart from the fact there's maybe a few commands that we can show, some non-minima commands, Jazz, like Docker PSA or restart or remove or...
Yeah, so that's if you're
in the command prompt,
running in Windows, then it will be the command prompt. If you're on Mac, then it will be your
terminal.
Terminal, yeah.
Yeah, so the easiest way to list the containers that are currently running on your machine is Docker PSA. Jasmine will show that to you now. So that will show you when your containers were created, their status, so if they've been running or if they're not running for whatever reason. This is a good way of getting the information on which ports you're currently using for your node. I often use this myself.
You should only have two. I've been playing around with a few different versions, which is why I have a few listed here, but you can also just list the ones that are running. Should just be Docker PS, and then you'll see these are the two that are running at the moment.
Now, we've been receiving a lot of reports that people's nodes are not exactly functioning well. Obviously, this is normal. Everybody's device is different. It will work differently for everyone. If you're having issues, if you're noticing that your node isn't pinging, or for whatever reason you're worried that the logs that you see in Docker are, breaking your node for whatever reason, you can restart your container both on the Docker app itself. I think it's the 3 buttons. I don't know, actually. I've never done it this way. Yeah, restart. Yeah. So you can restart that way, or you can restart in the command prompt. Its command prompt is very easy. It's just Docker restart and the name of your container.
I'm not going to restart it now, but that's how you do it.
We get the idea. Same thing for pretty much everything else. I mean, if you want to stop your container, you can do it through the command prompt. If you want to remove your container, you can do it through the command prompt or through Docker. Up to you. Moving on. MDS, I think. Yeah. So let's go over the status page.
To the wallet.
Yeah, it's in the wallet. Okay, so this is a status page that you'll see when you go to the wallet MiniDapp, which alternatively you can bring up using the status command in your terminal. Yeah, that terminal, the Docker terminal, I mean, as long as it's the Minima terminal. It will give you the same information, just a little easier to read on the MiniDapp itself. This is very important for you to know which version you're on, which block you're on, make sure that you're on the right chain.
So your time here should be very close to your clock time. So you can see 16:08 and my clock is on 16:09. So I know that I'm up to date with the chain.
Generally, if you have more than 5 minutes difference with your local time, that means there's a problem. I think that's the guidelines we've been giving, right, Jazz? 5 minutes or so.
I mean, I wouldn't worry straight away if you're 5 minutes off. Just kind of keep an eye on it and just make sure that it catches up. I think you would start to worry if you're seeing a few hours behind and you're checking the next day and it's still not up to date.
So yeah, if you're having this issue, restart your container, see if that works. If that doesn't help you, then just come to support and we'll sort you out. Other than that, on the status page, I mean, I don't have much else to explain. Most of the information is not essential to your daily usage. I think. Yeah.
And I think if you're running your node on Android, that's also fine. Like the wallet, everything we go through in the wallet will also apply to you. Obviously, you don't need to worry about the Docker process if you're just running the app through the Google Play Store.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we released a MiniDapp, what was it, like 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, called Gimme 20. And as the name implies, it gives you 20. It gives you 20 testnet minima. So this minima is not going to be, you won't be able to convert it for real minima. This is purely for testing purposes. As the instructions explain, and as Jasmine has just done, you can get 20 minima every 24 hours. If the minima doesn't make it to your wallet, then that most likely means you are not on the latest block. So you can check that information by doing what we just did a minute ago. Jazz, anything you want to...
Just say that after you hit Gimme 20, just give it a few minutes to appear in your wallet, because it will take 3 blocks for it to be confirmed in the blockchain, and that's when you'll see it appearing in your balance in your wallet. So you can see I've already got 49.79. So soon this should be updated to have another 20 once we see that Gimme 20 come through.
While we're on the balance page, we might as well go over that. So it's pretty simple. When you open the wallet, you have the tabs on the left side. Balance, send, receive, status, create token, and NFTs. I think they speak for themselves. The balance, so will just give you information on which coins you have in your wallet. And if you click on the coin, then you will have information, more detailed information as to the total supply, the token ID, the amount that you have. There's a difference between the confirmed, unconfirmed, and sendable. These are all based on when they arrived in your wallet. So if they're confirmed, it means that the tokens have been in your wallet for more than 3 blocks have passed since they've been in your wallet. Unconfirmed is less than 3 blocks, and sendable means you can send them.
Yeah, and I think the only difference between sendable and confirmed is that you might have confirmed being higher than sendable, but if you have coins which are locked in a smart contract, for example, then they would be confirmed, but they're not sendable because they're locked. Perhaps they're locked until a certain time, or they're in some other kind of smart contract, which means you can't send them right now.
Yeah.
You can see New Balance update, extra room. And I can see the Gimme 20 coming through now. So that's unconfirmed, which means that it's in a block, but it's not 3 blocks deep in the chain yet. So it's still unconfirmed.
Yeah. So I mean that's pretty straightforward as well. Obviously, if you have any, I'm seeing some questions in the chat about the fact that you're running the 103.27 version, Jazz, instead of the 26.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's just I'm running an internal testing node at the moment, which should be available to you very soon.
So moving on, let's look at the sending and the receiving of coins. I didn't manage to set up my Docker node, Jazz. So do you have an address that you can use, or?
Does someone in the audience want to put their address in the English chat?
Or there's
Just
the
making
voice channel chat if you prefer.
Okay, yeah, the voice channel chat, that's better, isn't it? So how do we get to that?
Someone will send it shortly, I imagine.
Yeah, let's see.
Hello, Barry.
Sorry,
This
So-
one.
is my microphone.
Someone want to put their wallet address in the chat?
Yeah, we just need a wallet address. Okay. In the meantime, I'm just going to go over this information quickly. So the default option that you have when sending something is the value transfer. So basically, you're going to send this coin that you select. So Jasmine has Minima selected, but she could select any other coin in her wallet. And essentially, this is just going to send that coin and the amount that she specifies to the recipient. Now, if you want to accelerate your transaction, you can include a burn fee as stated below. And I'm not sure if you have a wallet address yet.
I put mine in the chat.
Oh, the English, okay. Because we were talking about the voice channel chat room.
Else's Minima address, and then I'm going to send them some coins, 5, and then
yeah.
And I can include
the burn fee is optional, so
it is optional, yeah.
Minima addresses can come under the form of MX or 0x. Just
Right.
Okay.
So it's asking me to confirm the amount and the burn. So the burn is only really necessary once the blocks are full, because once the blocks are full, you're going to want to get your transaction into the next block. And the burn is a way of prioritizing those transactions. So the higher the burn is, the more likely you are to get into the next block. But before the blocks are empty, there's plenty of space, so there's no need to include a burn. But just for demonstration purposes, I'll put a small burn here.
Now, with the latest version of the node, or of the Minima node, we have pending transactions, right, Jazz? So
Yeah.
you can view your transactions that haven't been processed yet.
Yeah, exactly. So on a mobile, you'll see this icon in the top right of your homepage, and you can go there to see your pending commands. And basically what the pending commands are is whenever you're trying to send coins out of your wallet, just to make sure that it's kind of it's a security feature, really. Like, you don't want a malicious MiniDApp to be able to just send your coins away, right? So this is how you confirm that you process the transaction.
It's,
The desktop, we can go back here, and I'm not sure if this is on the
latest.
latest,
Oh,
but if it's not, it's coming very soon. So if I click on pending transactions now, I can see the command that will be run. So it's send 5 to this address, token ID 0x00, that's the minima token ID, and I'm burning 0.1. So I can accept that because I made this. Okay. And now it's been accepted, and I can see the output of that command. So if you're interested in all the technical details, you can see amount 5 address, token ID burn, and then this is all of the details of the transaction. And what's quite interesting here is that you can see the inputs for the transaction and the outputs. And hopefully you're already familiar with this, but Minima uses the UTXO model, which is the unspent transaction output model, which is the same as Bitcoin. It means that transactions are made up of inputs and outputs. And if I want to send, so in this case, I wanted to send 5, but I didn't have a specific coin. So my balance is made up of lots of different coins, and all of those coins have different amounts, just like the coins in your wallet, like the metal coins in your wallet. And so I have to put an input which is greater than 5. And the outputs are then 5 to the person I'm sending it to. In this case, it's Eurobuddha. And then I get 3.8 back to me. And there will also be that 0.1 that I burnt. So you'll see that 5 plus 3.8 plus 0.1 all adds up to the 8.9.
okay. Do you, I mean, Jazz, you want to go to the Block Explorer, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the challenge. We now have to find the transaction.
Should be here. So there's a couple. Let's check this one. This is the
Yeah,
one.
it's this one.
8.9 went in, and the outputs were 5 to Eurobuddha, and 3.8 come back to me as change.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Just a little addition on the receive page, which is where you can find your address. Yeah, so this is where you'll find the address whenever you want someone to send you a coin. You'll give them this address or the QR code, up to you. There's actually there's multiple addresses that are made by your node. So don't be frightened if you notice that your wallet address is not the same every time.
Yeah.
Now let's get into the token and NFT creation, which essentially are the same thing. So in order to create your token, you're going to require an image, as well as a name. I mean, obviously, it makes sense. And the total supply. So
Yeah. So there are two ways to create your image. You can either upload, which is going to be the easiest option, or you can use an image URL. So we'll create a couple. For the first one, we'll just stick to a simple upload. Let's see. Okay, I've just taken a couple of memes from the meme channel here. So
Okay.
and I'm going to call it Metallic Loves Minima. Create 1000.
Description is optional.
It
Those of you
is.
who participated in the coin creation task already know these steps, but we're going over them either way.
So a ticker symbol is just the shorthand code for the token, and web validation URL. I will come on to this in the next one when we create an NFT after this. But essentially, what this does is you provide a text file URL which will contain the token ID, which you'll get after creating the token. And then you'll paste that token ID into the text file. And then we'll have a nice blue check mark to validate the source of the token. So I'll go through that when we create the NFT. And then again, you can choose to include a burn with this transaction. So it's going to create this. To go back and accept that again.
Now you can send some to Eurobutter. So NFT and coin creation are essentially the same thing. It's the exact same fields. The only difference is we didn't go through this, Jazz, the coin split feature.
Yeah.
So it's in send. Yeah. So when you're send, huh?
Do you just want to explain the difference between the tokens and NFTs?
Yeah. So basically, a coin you can split. So you can split it for yourself or for other people. However, NFTs are unique. So you can have a collection of 1,000, but you will never be able to split those 1,000. You will never be able to have 500 and 500, for example. Not like a token.
So you can have NFTs aren't divisible essentially. So whereas tokens will have by default 8 decimal places, Minima has 44 decimal places. So you can see here we've got lots of decimals for Minima, but for NFTs you'll never have decimal places because they can't be divided. So you can just have them in whole numbers.
And onto NFT creation, I guess.
Yeah, so here's one I made earlier. You can't actually see here, but there's a little heart which you can use to favorite the NFTs that you have. And I'm going to just create a new one. So this time I'll use an image URL. So we need to provide a public URL that ends in PNG, JPEG, one of these file extensions. And so this can be on a website that you're hosting. I'm actually going to use my public GitHub. So I've got a file here in GitHub I'm going to upload an image. This one. NFT PNG. Should see this.
Oh God.
Also selected from our meme channel. And you need to get the extension that ends in .png. So I'm just going to copy this URL here. I see Lewis asking if we can use GIFs. I know you did used to be able to. I'm not sure whether it's supported anymore in the new wallet. So I will double check that and get back to you. Okay, so I'm going to post this URL here. NFT name. So
Verified meme.
name. Amount. I'm going to create 15. So here, yeah, 15 is going to be the total supply. So I'll be able to send out 15 of these NFTs, but I won't be able to split one of these NFTs into, say, 0.5. So then I can put an external link just so people can learn more. So let's just put the Minima website. And a description. Creator's name, that is me. And web validation URL. So now what I need to put in here is a link to a text file. So in my GitHub, I'm going to go back and create a new file. NFT verify.txt. So I don't have the token ID yet. I'll get that after I've created it. But I need to create the shell of the text file first. So I'm going to commit that. And now I have the URL that I can use. Just going to choose this raw format. So copy that in my URL, and I'm going to leave the burn blank. And I'm going to mint this.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, that's
Amazing.
what I'm gonna. Okay, I have to go back and accept this. Okay. Good. So now I'm going to have to wait a few blocks for this to be minted and then confirmed in my wallet. So let's see what we've got in our balance now.
We have the Vitalik loves Minima, but you have 0, not 1,000.
Coming through, so that's
Oh wait,
still
1,000 minted, yeah. Okay. I mean, while we wait, does anybody have questions? We can give you, I think we can unmute you.
see month 3. If you have 15 of them, they are fungible for one another. Yes, that's correct. It's not that you have to send all 15, it's that they can't be split beyond the integer. Yes. Yes, that's correct.
I was incorrect before. I said if you mint 1,000, you can't divide them 500, 500. That's, sorry. Yeah, Jasmine was right. You can't make 0.5 NFT. That's okay. I just got lost in my explanation.
Okay, I can see meme NFT is now popped up, so waiting for that to be confirmed. And now I can get the token ID. So this is what I need to put in my text file that I've got. So I'm going to copy that, and you'll see that this is one I did earlier. It has this blue check mark, so it says this NFT has been validated. So we can actually have a look at that one. This test coin has a token ID of 33D7 at the end. And it should be able to show you that one.
No, it's not that one.
This one.
No.
33D7.
Oh,
So,
never mind.
so this is the token ID of my test coin here. So just make sure that I've got this copied.
Jasmine, the validation happens automatically, right?
Yes, correct. So it will just check this public text file. So now I need to put this into here. Save this. Okay. So that's all saved. And now when it next checks the meme NFT, it should be validated. Okay, it's not quite gone through yet. 000AD.
Is it the same? Oh, yeah, it is.
000AD. Okay. We'll just have to wait a bit.
Yeah, we probably have to wait.
Vitalik loves Minima is now confirmed. So if anyone wants some, put your address in the chat. And if you want to see what's kind of happening throughout all of this process, you can always open the terminal. Let me just open a fresh one.
Well, you can go to the Docker terminal and see your node doing all this normally, no?
Yeah, you can. Terminal means you can also do it on the phone. And just check the logs button here. And then when when a new coin comes in, or a new token that you've created, you should see that starting to pop up here.
Month 3, regarding your question, what a validation actually means. Well, essentially this is just anti-fraud. So basically, let's imagine some big corporation wants to make their token. There might be 1,000 Google tokens, but Google themselves will be able to verify their token to their URL. So this just helps identify what is legitimate and what isn't. I mean, not saying that a non-verified token is illegitimate, but we've seen the problems that are arising throughout social media about impersonation and on crypto especially. So
yeah, so say a celebrity or a big corporation has created their own token, then anyone who has that token will be able to see the web validation URL here, and that should be on a legitimate website that you can verify. Obviously, if you see some kind of random website here, then
not very trustworthy.
Yeah, exactly.
If you see a token called Facebook and it's validated by the facebook.com URL, then you can tell yourself, yeah, it's legitimate.
Yeah, exactly. So you could prove you're the initial maker, and whoever owns that NFT, one of those NFTs in the future, can also, or anyone can independently verify that it's created by the person who says they created it.
But I think that was all we had organized for today. Did you want to go through anything else? Oh, you're waiting for the okay.
The blue check mark now. So those are all confirmed.
Yes, you can, Manthri. A dodgy website, as you say, indeed.
You can use, yes, but then everyone would see that that's a dodgy website.
Yeah. Or GitHub. Yeah,
Or
as well.
GitHub.
Yes, so that's all we had for today. Any other questions, feel free to ask. Do we have a community call tomorrow at 2 p.m. UTC? Yes, we do. There is a community call tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see you there. We'll be going over other things on the community call. We'll be having another workshop session later this week as well. Jasmine and Jasmine, I don't know if we're going to go over the same thing for people perhaps who couldn't attend, or if we're going to go over something else.
Recorded, we'll probably do something different.
Okay, yeah. All right. So possible. I don't understand your questions, Green Armor. What do you mean, the storage of NFTs in Web 2? Your NFTs will be stored in your wallet. Your wallet will have a seed phrase. I imagine if you want to move them to a cold wallet, you can, Jasmine? Right? I think that's possible.
So, I mean, you can have a backup of your NFTs, and then it is possible to create an offline node. I think, you're talking about where the image is actually stored. So
Currently, when you create an NFT, the icon that's used will be on chain. So it's 256K maximum, and it's quite compressed. But within the body of the NFT, you can point to a URL to either the high resolution image of where the digital media is stored, or that could be a whole website or a page, talking about the image with the full resolution. So, we've done that to make it easy to create them, in a low resolution on chain fashion, so they live on chain forever. But we also give you the ability to have it referencing the official media.
Yes, exactly. So GitHub was the original source, but when you create the NFT, it's actually compressed and stored on chain.
Yeah. Why is it not hosted in IPFS?
I mean, maybe we'll add IPFS compatibility later, but we thought storing an image on chain on the minimum blockchain would be more practical straight out of the box, and that's what we also use for icons in when you're making a standard token. Obviously, with an NFT, you'd prefer to have full resolution, and you can have that by embedding a URL, which is effectively what an NFT is, right? It's a URL to a JPEG stored somewhere else. This is the best of both worlds.
Okay.
You found Michael? Yes, thanks. Good presentation. Glad you found it useful. Yeah. Questions about Volvo? Probably not topic for this call, but we will definitely update you when we get more announcements that we can share. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll leave it there then. Hope everyone found that useful. Welcome to give us feedback in English chat if you have any feedback. And we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.